Guys, guys, have you seen Baby Reindeer on Netflix? Like, that show got me gripped. I finished the entire season or episode in one sitting. So I'm going to be dissecting each of the episodes with you, and we're also going to touch on the Piers Morgan show, where the real matter of Baby Reindeer appeared on the TV show, to say that all Richard Gadd has said were all blatant lies. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Wemimo and I'm also known as Start Mom of 5, and I'm also known as TMO5 Kanduko. If you're new to my channel, welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always coming back. So today is all about Baby Reindeer. So Baby Reindeer is a limited series on Netflix. If I'm glancing down, I've got my note made up here. So Baby Reindeer is a limited series on Netflix. So if you're in the UK, you should be able to watch it, and if you're also in Nigeria, you can watch it on Netflix as well. So the cast of the videos are Richard Gadd, which happens to be the storyteller, who happens to be the writer, who happens to be the one who experienced the story that was shared in Baby Reindeer. So the cast are Richard Gadd. I'm going to be popping the pictures here. There's Jessica Gunning, who is Martha, who acted as Martha in the movie. There's Nava Ma, and there's Tom Goodman Hill. So Tom Goodman Hill is Darian, who was the rapist. I believe Nava Ma is the transgender woman who is Richard Gadd's girlfriend in the movie, the drama. So what is this all about? What is Baby Reindeer all about? So I've got a story here. So Baby Reindeer is a fictionalized drama, of course, but it is based on the true events that happened in the life of the creator. So the creator is Richard Gadd. So Richard Gadd is a comedian. Okay, so the comedian, who is Richard Gadd, plays a version of himself named Donnie Dunn. So Richard Gadd, who happens to be the person who this thing happened to, was called Donnie in the movie, in the drama, let's say. So, and recounts his experience of being stalked by a middle-aged woman he named Martha. Her real name is I think Fiona something. I'll find her real name and I'll pop it somewhere on the screen. And though it changed some events slightly to create dramatic climaxes, you all know that if you want something to sell, you have to put some extra spice and sauce on it. And he also told so The Guardian in April 2024, the story is resounding true. So that is Baby Reindeer is a true life movie. Okay? So I don't want to burst the bubble for those of you who have not watched the drama, but I'm going to be discussing or be just giving you a summary of each episode. So there's 8 episodes. No, there's 7 episodes in total. So we're going to discuss that briefly, and then we're going to touch up on the interview that Piers Morgan had with the Baby Reindeer Fiona Harvey last night. So episode one started with Donnie being a struggling comedian. Yeah, Donnie is a comedian, and he was a barman who meets a lonely Martha. So lonely is Fiona Harvey, who claimed to be a lawyer, and she came into Donnie's bar for a cup of tea, and she said she couldn't afford it. So Donnie obviously was like, okay, offered her a cup of tea on the house. So Donnie offered her a cup of tea on the house, and she became totally hooked. Like Martha in the movie became totally hooked, like, okay, he offered me a cup of tea. That's interesting. So that's what all episode 1 is all about. And episode 2 touched on Donnie went on a date with Terry. So Terry is Donnie's girlfriend, who is a trans woman, and told Terry about the stalker. So Donnie told Terry about Martha, that what, this woman has been stalking me. He continues to give Martha hope because he was trying to be a nice person, but this made Martha more obsessed. Like, obviously Donnie is trying to be nice to Martha because he thinks she's a lonely woman. So we were like, okay, what harm would it cause if I'm being nice to this woman? Or not knowing that him being nice to her was kind of like fueling the obsession she has for him. So that's all episode 2 is all about. Episode 3 was when obviously everything was starting to get to Donnie a lot. Martha was stalking him. Martha was there every time. Martha would would be everywhere. At some point, Donnie actually followed Martha to find out where she lived. So I don't know if Martha saw Donnie when Donnie came, like when he was peeping on her, but yeah. So Donnie took time off work as he seems to be tired of Martha, of seeing Martha everywhere, and also to make things work with Teddy, because obviously Donnie realized that Martha is a very dangerous woman, and he was trying to shield Terry from Martha, because I think allegedly Martha thinks she was in a relationship with Donnie. So Donnie took time out so he could make things work with Teddy. And so far, he couldn't avoid Martha. No matter what Donnie did, he could not get rid of Martha. So that's what episode 3 is all about. So episode 4, Donnie reports Martha to the police, which triggered the memory of a very traumatic experience. So when Donnie went to report Martha to the police, he did not really go into detail. He did not even come out with all of the issues. So I was kind of like thinking, well, I don't want to put my opinion now, so let's just dive into the episode 4. So he reported the incident to the police, which kind of like triggered the memory of his experience of when Martha went to see Darian. So Darian was the man he met when he went to Edinburgh Fringe Festival. So this Edinburgh Fringe Festival, they still do it. It's like a yearly summer event. So this guy gave Donnie the hope of helping his career, but used Danny to write scripts, and he also introduced Danny to drugs, and eventually he raped Danny. Yes. So Donnie did not say all of this to the police. He did not mention it to anybody. So it was kind of like living his life. You know, at some point, yeah, it was at some point it was very traumatic. I think most people that watched episode 4 found it very distressing, traumatic for them. But obviously there was like a warning to say this was involved in that. So that was episode 4. So episode 5 touched on Liz being Donnie's landlord, found out the truth about Donnie and asked him to move out. So, you know, after moving out, Donnie decided to try and continue to make things work with Teddy, his girlfriend, but things strained between them because he was not able to do the bedroom dance after that incident with Daryl, who raped him. So with this, you know, not being able to do the bedroom dance meant that Teddy and Donnie couldn't get close because they couldn't get intimate because of Donnie's experience. So that was episode 5. So episode 6 was when you know, Martha came up with so many ways of, you know, getting across to Donnie, because Donnie was not reachable to her anymore. So Martha started, you know, contacting Donnie's parents. He attacked Donnie's girlfriend. You know, still Donnie went to the police to report this incident. Police were like, there really is nothing they could do. But at some point, the police officer spoke off record as to what Donnie could do that would help him to be able to get evidence or proof that this is what Martha has been doing. So, you know, afterwards, Donnie decided to start doing things in a way. We came up with ways of maybe recording things and just to get Martha to get the case open. So this episode got me really hard, really bad, because this was when Donnie went on a show and he spilled everything that happened to him. Spilled everything from when he met Martha, to when he went to Edinburgh, to when he met that guy who raped him, to when, you know what, he just kept going back. He spilled everything. Not knowing to him, somebody recorded that show and posted it on YouTube. So yeah, that's what episode 6 was all about. So episode 7, which is the last episode, Donnie, obviously things were starting to get better for him because obviously his story was everywhere now. He was attending shows, people were calling him for shows, people were calling him for interviews, people were doing, you know, calling because at some point it seems as if his career was about to, you know, was already skyrocketing. But then that did not stop there, because obviously when people started calling him, it was all over everywhere. Martha came in full force. Like Martha was practically sending him messages of everything is admitted to Martha, everything they've done together, his intimacy with Martha, everything is ever done with Martha. Martha was, you know, calling, dropping messages, leaving all of that. And at some point, Donnie was listening to it as a podcast because there were loads. And Donnie took it upon himself to kind of like, you know, start, obviously from the advice the police officer gave him, he started recording everything, downloading everything, putting them into sections so he could understand which one to go after. So, you know, it was just like, you know, obviously when he felt things were better, he actually traveled back home to Scotland to speak to his parents about what happened to him and all of that. So that's just a snippet, a short summary of what Baby Reindeer is all about. So I will implore you to watch it. So now let's go to Piers Morgan's interview with Fiona Harvey. So Piers Morgan, we all know Piers Morgan is a controversial, TV presenter. It was a judge on Britain's Got Talent. I think where I actually got to know more about him, which made me not really like him, was how he ripped, or how he's been ripping into Michael Meghan, Prince Harry's wife. I don't like his opinion or how he's been going on about dissing Meghan Markle. So that's the only thing I don't like Piers Morgan for. But then with that interview Piers Morgan had with Baby Reindeer matter yesterday, I felt he did not dig into her the way he should have done. Because when Piers Morgan interviews somebody, he is very, very ruthless. It goes deep. Like he tries to catch the truth out and the lies out. And with all the questions that Piers Morgan threw at Matter yesterday, you could tell that Piers Morgan did not believe her. Because apparently Richard Gadd claimed that Matter sent him over 41,000 emails, and Matter of Baby Reindeer denied all. She denied ever sending him anything, and said that even if at all if she did, it was a couple of jokey banter emails, nothing serious, that they were just a few jokey emails. She also accepted that she agreed that she had about 5 or 6 emails. And I was like, 6 emails, what do you need 6 emails for? So she was like, oh, she has an email for work, she has an email for friends, she has an email for this, she has an email for that. And Piers Morgan was saying to her that, do you still have access to all these emails? Are you willing to take part in a lie detective test? Are you like all of these things? You said you did not send them to him, but there's a way when cybersecurity people get hold of your computer system, they can dig everything out. She was just like, me watching her, I could tell she was lying, because from all the questions Piers Morgan threw at her, she was able to reply to them, which means that after all, Richard Gadd was not lying. So all of the things were like, yeah, she sent a couple of messages. So Piers Morgan asked her, did you send him any message on Facebook? She said no. Did you tweet him? She said no. She was like, later on she said, oh, maybe she tweeted him about 14 or 18 tweets. So at first she said she never sent any tweet. Now she's saying she tweeted 18 to 14 tweets. So she also claimed that, yeah, she had a reindeer toy, reindeer toy she had as a child. So obviously reindeer toy, it kind of like matches with what Richard Gadd said in his story. So this woman has actually come up to say that everything Richard Gadd said in that story were blatant lies, that she was going to sue Richard Gadd, she was going to sue Netflix, and Richard Gadd has also been on several other TV shows, saying his own part of it. However, I think when this story came out, Richard Gadd did not mention anybody's name, obviously from the description. And I think how people found out was that they went back to her old tweet on Twitter, and that was how all these Instagram social media netizens were able to figure out who the person was. I felt, in my own opinion, she could have just said, oh, I'm not the person who is being described in this video, I don't know nothing about it, and then take herself out. But no, she came out to say she was the one in the video. I think she was trying to do a Risatisa. You remember that lady, the US lady who came out with 50 episodes of Who the Fuck Did I Married? I think she was trying to do that. But in this regard, I think people's opinions have already been formed that she is a blatant liar, that Richard Gadd is saying the truth. She denied ever attacking Richard Gadd's girlfriend, which is Terry. She denied ever attacking Richard Gadd at his bar, even though I think the owners of the bar where Richard Gadd worked, they should be arrested as well, because how can you say you turned CCTV off? Because the evidence of Matter attacking Richard Gadd in the bar could have helped the police swift into action in helping Richard Gadd, but they were like, the camera has been turned off. So if the restaurant or if the bar owners are not into shady business, why have they turned the cameras off? The camera is there for a purpose, for safety. Should in case anything like what happened to Richard Gadd while that work happened, they'll be able to get evidence and proof of what happened. But so I think those two guys who owns his, I don't know if they're his friend, but his managers, they should be arrested as well, because they destroyed evidence. Like, it just goes to show that maybe there's something fishy that they do in that bar that Donny is not aware of. But obviously they turned down the camera. Why will they turn off the camera? So with that being said, so Matter also claimed that Richard Gadd asked her to sleep with him. So it was like Richard Gadd was like, would you like your curtains fixed? So at some point I didn't understand what that meant, but when I was talking to my colleagues at work yesterday, they were like, yeah, me. And then after watching Piers Morgan's show with her, I knew what that meant was that yes, Richard Gadd asked to sleep with her. You know, she, like I said, she denied ever stalking Richard Gadd. She denied ever sitting at the front of Richard Gadd. She denied ever contacting his parents. She denied ever, you know, as most sexually assaulting Richard Gadd, because at some point in the episode there was a place where she grabbed Richard Gadd's manpower. She denied ever doing that. She denied ever being charged, or she denied ever being charged or go to jail for 9 months. She claims that she's been defamed and she's going to be suing everybody. Yeah, she claims she's going to be suing everybody. Claims that her character has been defamed. So currently she says she's in a relationship. She's been in a 5-year relationship. That so Piers Morgan kind of like asked her that, you know, what do you want to get from this show? She was like, I just want to tell him to go get a life, to leave me alone. But at the end of the day, in my own opinion, you were the one who came out to say that was you, and then now you're saying he should leave you alone. No, you came out. You could have easily just put it out there to say, you know what, no, that was not me being mentioned in that video. I've got nothing to do with this, blah 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 blah, and let it quieting down there. But no, instead she came out to say, you know, to start speaking to people. And I'm sure with the way she's going, many more news days or date shows will call her to come on to show, just like Richard Gadd has been invited. You know, as it is now, people are trying to find out who the rapist was in real life. For me, I'm not really into comedies and stuff like that, but I'm going to be watching on here. I'm going to be on social media to find out if they eventually found the person. So, in general, my own opinion as to all that happened in Baby Reindeer. So, I felt Richard Gadd led matter on. After you offered her a cup of tea, you should have just let her be. Like, you offered her a cup of tea on the house. Either she's lonely or she's not lonely. Out the F is that your bloody problem. So that's number one. I felt he led her on severally. And also, even when Richard Gadd found out about her, like there was so many, so there are some articles Richard Gadd found about her being a stalker, being an abuser and stuff like that. Even after he found all of those evidences, he still went, like, he still kept going back and forth with her. He went out on a lunch date with her. He went out several times with her. Even shared a bed with her. Like, so yeah, there were so many red flags for him to have let her go, like to have stayed away from her, but he kept on going with her. Number two, apparently she claimed she only sent a few emails, but yeah, who in the right senses sent somebody 41,000 emails? Like, so she denied all of that. So Martha also claimed that she only sent 10 emails as opposed to 41,000 emails that Richard Gadd claimed she did. So she's practically denied everything, and Martha thinks Richard Gadd is psychotic. In my own opinion, I think both of them are psychotic. Both of them need help. Yeah, so it's not a matter of who is telling the truth here, who is not saying the truth here, but yeah, both of them need help. So, like I said, Martha claims she never attacked Gadd. She claims she never attacked Gadd's girlfriend, but I believe there are witnesses in the bar or at the bar when Martha attacked Gadd. So I would employ them in this regard. I would want them to come forward. And also, Gadd's girlfriend Terry, whom obviously Gadd told the story, told her about the stalker. I want her to come forward as well. The two people who owns the bar, who witnessed the fight, I want them to come out as well and say, oh, whatever what Gadd said in his story was a lie. So because there were all these people were mentioned in these movies, and I believe they are still living, let them come forward and say Richard Gadd is saying the truth or Richard Gadd is lying. Or let them come out and say Martha is actually lying, that everything what happened. Also, what I also claimed was that she claimed that she only attended one of Richard Gadd's show, but there were evidence that, you know, she attended multiple shows. You know, from her interview, there were so many things that, you know, she was using to kind of like, you know, to make things difficult for her. But in my own opinion, I think I believe this Baby Reindeer story. I believe the Baby Reindeer story. So, Piers Morgan has asked if Martha Fiona Harvey is willing to undergo a lie detective test. Let's see if she actually underwent a lie detective. But I'm sure from that interview, Piers Morgan did not believe Martha in any way. He did not. And for me, I don't think I believed her either. I think I believe Richard Gadd more. And like I said, let Richard Gadd bring out the evidences. Like, bring all the evidences, bring all the receipts out here. and let's know who is saying the truth and who is lying. Anyway guys, like I said, if you're yet to watch Baby Reindeer, go watch it. It's still on Netflix, and for me, I'm going to be watching it again. And also, if you have watched this video till now and you're like, Wemi, I was at Piers Morgan's live show yesterday, drop your comment in regards to everything that I've mentioned in the comment in this video today. Drop your comments there. Have you watched Baby Reindeer? What do you think? Who do you think is lying? Do you think they both are problems? Do you think Richard Gadd led her on, or do you think no, Richard Gadd is just a nice person? Drop your comments respectfully in the comment section. And if you have watched till now and you have not yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? So don't forget to like, drop a comment in the comment section, subscribe if you're yet to do so, turn on the post notification so that other people can, you know, can come and let's talk about, because for me, I enjoy Baby Reindeer and I implore you guys to go watch it. Okay, and I hope to catch up with you in my next video, and have a blessed weekend. Bye.